In League of Legends, you don't use WASD. Instead, you use your mouse, specifically your right click, to move your character around the map. To move large distances in one click, such as from fountain to lane, you can right click the area you want your character to be on the minimap and then will automatically walk there. You can also set your camera using the default keybind, which is Y, and you can toggle from unlocked camera to locked camera. Locked means that the camera will always have your champion in the middle no matter how you move. Locked makes it so you move your camera freely without having your champ to be the focus point. We recommend you use locked for now, since it's a little hard to get used to. Unlocked camera. The green bar above your champion and the green bar on your HUD is your health bar. If you die, there is a respawn timer that increases the longer the game goes on for. The bar under is the resources bar. Some champs use mana, the blue bar, some champs use the energy, the yellow bar, and some champs use neither mana nor energy. Most abilities will cost mana or energy, so you won't be able to unskillfully spam abilities. EXP and levels are similar to gold. Every game you can gain EXP and level up until you hit level 18, which is the maximum level. Let's first talk about how to obtain EXP. You can get EXP by standing near minions when they die, getting kills or assists, and destroying wards. What are wards? We'll talk about that later. So why are levels so important? Leveling up will give you more base stats like health, mana, attack damage, and attack speed. But the most important thing about levels have to do with your champion's abilities.
Each champion has a passive, 3 abilities, and an ultimate ability. You can read your champion's ability by hovering over ability icons on the HUD. To use the abilities, press the keybinds. The default ones are Q, W, E, R. You can change the keybinds. We recommend not to, because everyone uses Q, W, E, R. At the start of the game, you can only unlock one ability. Every time you level up, you can unlock or level up an ability. Leveling up abilities will make them stronger. Most of the time, you should unlock all of your abilities first, including ultimate, and then max one ability before maxing the next. Level up abilities by clicking on the arrow or pressing Ctrl and the ability keybind. We recommend that you use the keybind because it is much faster. Some abilities need time to be casted. They can be short or long, depending on the ability in themselves. There are different types of abilities in League. We have skill shots, point and clicks, area of effect, passives, and auto attack resets. Skill shots are you just have to aim the ability. Point and clicks, you just have to click on the target and it will hit it. Area of effect spells are intended to hit multiple targets or take up a space. And passive, there is no activation for a passive. It's just kind of like your second passive. It's always there. Auto attack resets are also abilities that are meant to cancel the animation of your auto attacks. It just makes it so that you can do combos faster, which means that you can do more damage within a certain time. So like if you auto attack ability, auto attack, as opposed to if you do ability, auto attack, auto attack. Crowd control, or CC, is also a type of ability effect. Crowd control means impairing movement like stuns and slows. CC is very important in League because it allows your team to easily deal damage. We also have the reverse of crowd control, which is buffs. They can buff your team and also help you guys get out of sticky situations or just win fights overall.
Summoner spells are an important part of your ability kit. It is like an ability, but they can be game-changing and have a very long cooldown. You can only choose to take 2 of them each game. Once you reach level 9, you have unlocked all the summoner spells. We won't go over all of them, but you can read about them in the client. Let's go over a few popular summoner spells. The most popular by far is Flash. Almost everyone takes Flash. It's just a short teleport, and it might seem underwhelming, but you can use it to escape, engage fights, and just break your opponent's ankles. Another popular summoner spell is Ignite. Ignite will burn the selected target by around 70 damage. but the damage will increase with your level. So late game, you'll be dealing around 300 damage by just clicking on your target. Use Ignite to get early kills on your late opponents and in team fights. Use Ignite on champs who heal a lot because it will reduce their healing. Runes. For your first 15 to 20 games, you don't have to worry about runes, since the game will auto-make them for you. But at one point, they give you the ability to make your own. You don't have to learn what they do, since you can just Google your champs u.gg and then scroll to the rune section to copy them. We'll give you a general idea of what these runes mean. Precision gives more sustained damage. Domination gives more burst damage. Sorcery empowers abilities and manipulates resources like mana. Resolve makes you more tanky and more crowd control. Inspiration is creative tools and rule bending. HUD/interface. Let's talk about what you see on your screen. At the top right corner, you can see your team's kills versus the enemy team's kills. Your KDA, which is your kills, deaths, and assists. Your CS, which we'll talk about later, and how long the game has been going for. At the bottom right corner, you can see your teammates' conditions like health and mana, as well as a mini-map. You can only see the areas your team has vision in, similar to the actual map. At the bottom is the most important HUD. It shows your champion, your level, and EXP. Your abilities, your summoner spells, your health and mana, your items, your words, and your gold. If you press the default keybind C, there are many more stats and runes that you can look at. We recommend that you shrink the HUD as small as possible, because it will just block a big part of your screen. To do this, go into settings by pressing escape, go into interface, and change the HUD size all the way to 0. Don't worry, 0 doesn't mean it will disappear. You can also press the default keybind tab to show the scoreboard. At the top of the scoreboard, you can see the spawn timers of the neutral objectives. Pings. Communication is key in a team-based game, so League has something called pings. Pings communicate your thoughts to your team without spending so much time typing. Of course, only your team can see your pings. The default keybind for pings is G. You can just ping normally by clicking G, or you can hold left click while pressing G to get more options. You can also left click while holding down Control for another ping. There's another important ping that is not binded when you first start. It signals to your team that the enemy has vision in that area. We recommend you bind a key for this ping.
In our League of Normies guide, we talked about how important gold is. Killing minions is the most effective way to get gold. In order to get gold, you must last hit the minions. What that means is that you have to deal the killing blow to the minions. There are 4 types of minions: casters, melee, cannon minions, and super minions. Casters are the one at the back shooting projectiles, and melee are the ones up front, and the cannon minions they look like the cannon. Cannon minions are a bit special because they come every 3rd wave. They also give much more gold than casters and melee minions, so try your hardest to last hit them. The final type of minion is the super minion, which only spawn when your team has destroyed an inhibitor. They give the same amount of gold as cannon minions, so try to last hit them as well. Once you know these basic fundamentals, you can finally start to actually play the game. There are a few phases of the game: the early, mid, and late game. The early game usually lasts until the first tower in a lane is destroyed. During this period, you should focus on CSing and killing your lane opponent. You can also move to neutral objectives so your team can secure them. After the first tower is taken, the mid game will be dependent on your champion and role. Some champions want to fight, while others want to stay in lane and farm minions. You will learn this phase more as you play more games. The late game is when champions in the game have completed their item build or are very close to doing so. Players in the game will start hitting level 18, which is the max level. This stage of the game depends on teamfighting and sieging the enemy nexus for a sweet victory.